we're gonna let it build real quick. So we're starting a little bit late, but we're gonna let it build real quick. Let everybody gather in. Guys, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Comment where you're from. How's everybody doing this evening? We're on episode 3 this season. Be a good show. Hit that like button. In the chat, let us know where you guys are checking in from. Hopefully you guys can hear me. I'm just letting music play real quick. Let everybody gather in. Let's run it up. They like these long trophies. Guys, what is up? What is going on? Listen, it is your favorite. Oh, we got Tunisia in the building. Shout out to Tunisia. You know, got Africa in the place to be. Shout out to Africa. Anyway, appreciate you guys for tuning in. You know, once again, y'all know technical difficulties. You know. But hit that like button, guys. It is your favorite everything. This is JR Wisdom. Once again, you have tuned into the Smoke Hour with this special guest, Miss Tina Summers here.
Hi, guys.
How are you doing this evening, Tina Summers?
I'm doing great. How are you?
It's the greatest night ever.
That's
you know
right.
what I'm saying? Here we are showing up again for episode 3.
Yep.
See what guys got going on. We're going to discuss some good stuff here tonight. We're going to be talking about, you know, femininity and the art of finesse. I'm not sure if you're a finesser or not, but I know you know a thing or two about femininity, you know, or so you've been told.
I like to think so.
Yeah, so we're going to get into that for those who are watching, ladies and fellas alike, to learn a little something, because I do think that this concept of femininity is heavily talked about within the space of Black women aren't feminine. They're just masculine as hell. They're mean, angry. What's that word? Surly. They're surly. They're angry. They're upset. You know, the only time they're really nice is when you're in bed. And other than that, you can't get along with them. And, you know, if they only learn the art of finesse, right? And how to be feminine, which you can call I think being feminine, I wouldn't even call it a finesse, but I think it's very important for women to get what they want. From a man, I covered a video a long time ago, years ago, that it's a woman's golden ticket. And I would, you know, obviously I'm gonna get your take on this and what you've heard and what you've seen from your, you know, your years on this earth that you've been walking around. That way we can share, you know, with everyone tonight, just to kind of get some insight from a woman who doesn't have issues, you know, being feminine and getting what she wants, you know. Which some
for
guys,
the most part,
some guys could be like, you know, she's a 304, she's a slut, you know what I'm saying? Just because you can get what you want, you know what I'm saying? But fellas, do you want your lady to be masculine or you want her to be feminine?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Just because she's, and like I said, there are women in the industry who've mastered this quite well,
right?
You know,
that's true. I could probably take some tips.
You could take some tips from them. Anyway,
everybody could use some, you know, refresh.
Yeah, a little refresh
course, crash course.
The art. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it is.
Why are men always dealing with these 304s, these prostitutes? You know what I'm saying? And stuff like that. And, but I mean, there's a reason, you know. How Mike Epps used to say, make me feel like somebody.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Don't just ask me for my money or say I'm here to, you know, fix your washer, dryer, and you know.
So a man isn't supposed to be there to fix the washer and dryer?
What I'm saying is, if it's all gimme,
right?
What they say, gimme got you here?
Yeah.
Shit, if it's always just only gimme this, gimme that, gimme this, gimme that, when are you gonna make me feel like somebody? Shit,
right.
Like damn. I mean, even when we're in bed, it's just like, I'm just here for this purpose only. You know, it ain't even making you feel some type of way. I mean, you might feel like a man here and there, you know what I'm saying? So
yeah,
I don't know. But housekeeping rules real quick. I know we got into a little dialogue here. Guys, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. You guys know what it is. As you can see at the bottom, this is a call-in show. This is a live call-in show. So feel free to hit that. It's pinned in the chat. It's in blue. You guys got any input, any questions, feel free to call in. Share your thoughts on this topic in itself and your experiences. Ladies as well. I know the past few shows we've been having nothing but dudes calling in. Huh?
Oh yeah,
There hasn't been any women, which is strange enough. I'm like, where's the ladies at?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So comment in the chat. I think Tunisia is the only people in the house. We got 20 something people in here now. Last week we had almost 350. Maybe we're gonna make this interesting. Doesn't matter who's in here, as long as you guys are tuned in. You could be anywhere in the world right now. You could be asleep. You could be out in the streets. You could be in somebody's club or in somebody's jail, but you're here. You might be in somebody's jail. I don't know. You guys got internet out there. But, yeah. So shout out to everybody. Julian Hill, Isaac Madison, is that Kirsten Wilson? Did you define femininity? No, I haven't. You watch a wild black women at YouTube fighting in stores everywhere. Yeah, but we're not about to be addressing those type. We're strictly addressing femininity tonight, and I'm getting this young lady's input on it because she does it so well or whatever. So I'm gonna start off. So femininity, I think I took a screenshot earlier. This young lady said, and she's been one of my followers for a while, or subscribers or whatever have you. And I'm just gonna read because I think this is her definition of femininity, and you can chime in and I'll give my opinion of it.
Okay.
She says, since February 2022, I've made it a goal of mine to not just become in touch with my femininity, but truly live in my femininity.
Okay.
I started watching a lot of female red pill content creators with the idea in mind that this is what femininity looks like. As time has gone on, I've learned that true femininity is being nurturing, loving, understanding, non-judgmental, non-critical, non-argumentative, combative, delivering opinions that may be perceived as negative in a gentle, delicate, and classy manner, but most importantly, sometimes refraining from giving your opinion at all if it compromises or can lead to compromising any other aspects of your femininity in the moment. This is why I don't think that the red pill community has any space for women making a career or hobby. Anyway, it was pretty lengthy. What do you think about what she just said in terms of what she's come to know as far as that?
I actually agree with parts of what she said. I mean, I agree with all of what she said. I think first and foremost, because of the fact that she's actually taken the initiative to become a feminine woman or live in a feminine space and find a way to become a well, she said not even more in touch, just live in that space. Because she has the desire to be feminine. Obviously there's something that triggered that, and that just making her mind up to do so, that's going to, put her on that path that she needs to be on to be the feminine person that she ultimately wants to be, who she desires to be, because she obviously sees something that needed to be corrected or maybe tweaked, or maybe she just, got to an age where she just felt like, I need to, live in this space a little more, to become a little more gentler. Because I know a lot of women that are like, they're just not they're a little rough around the edges.
Right. So that's what we're going to talk about. So what's your definition of what's femininity to you?
So femininity to me personally, it all boils down to just a way of, it's more of a lifestyle. It's not just something that you do in a moment. Like when the only thing that I can kind of compare it to, but not necessarily a true comparison, like motherhood. When you are a mom, you're a mom all the time, whether your children are around or not. So when you are being a feminine woman, you are living in that space. You're living in femininity at all times. You're not just feminine here and there, or just with your man, or just when you're in front of certain people. You don't turn it off, on and off. I believe that once you become the person that you want to be, or you're in a feminine space, or the things that to you are feminine, you then you then live that way. It's a lifestyle.
So if a young lady,
and I know that really didn't 100% answer your question,
because I know
sorry.
I know you're young, you got a young lady comes up to you and it's like, Tina, you're just so feminine. I'm fresh out of high school. I was raised by my dad, whatever have you. How can I be feminine like you? What would you suggest? Like, I want to be like you. What would you say to that, i.e. your daughter or whatever, if she's trying to get into that space because she's being told that you're a dude. You're acting like a dude, but she wants to be feminine.
I would first want to understand why, what is it that she's being told, or what is it that she feels like she's doing that's of a masculine, of a masculine way. Like, is it the way she walks, or the way she talks, or the way she, just her presence, and then I would say, I would start with, what do you feel? How do you feel inside? How do you feel as far as, like, do you feel like you have to do everything on a masculine level? Do you feel like you are argumentative? Do you feel like you are hard? Do you feel like you don't know how to present yourself in a softer manner? I mean, because it would depend. There's so many moving parts to that whole, just femininity. You can't just say, okay, define femininity, this is what it is. Because if we actually looked on Webster, femininity would be, what would it say?
Let's take a peek. Because if I was a woman right now, I'd be like, I need you to get to the point.
Right.
You telling me all this shit.
I'm like,
I want to be like you. I want to be like you, Tina. What do I need to do? So femininity is defined as qualities or attributes regarded as characteristics of women or girls.
Right. So qualities and characteristics.
What is a woman? Yeah, good. So I'm just saying. Well, let's get to this, because this is the most controversial part.
Right.
Since we said, because I know there are some women who have a hard time and they don't know what femininity is. They just, and as you said, I think you say it just like other people would say it. It's just something you are. It's just something I can't explain.
It's your presence. It's your presence. I believe that it's your presence. It's your delivery of things. It's how you are when you're in front of
Where'd
people.
you learn this?
I just think that over time, like, so you're around people all your life. I think that the reason why some women are looked at as masculine is just like you said. Okay, if a woman came to you and she said, okay, I want to be more feminine. I was raised by a single dad.
Right.
Obviously this person is sometimes going to come off a little more masculine, a little more rough, depending on how her father treated her. Because I mean, if she was daddy's little girl, then she automatically knows, oh, well, this is what men like, not in a sense, not in like a weird way, but like, oh, this is, when I talk like this, my daddy gives me what I want. Or when I act like that, my daddy, you know what I'm saying? And if I'm not argumentative, then I know that I can get what I want, because I know women that have been raised by men that can really finesse, because they were in the presence of a man for so long that they just know how to, navigate that area of their lives very, very well. They don't need any coaching, or they don't need for somebody to say, well, in order to be, this way, or in order to be feminine, you have to be this way. And obviously we were raised around older women that are, especially, down south, where women will say, oh, well, you get more bees with honey.
That's right.
Than you do with vinegar. So, that's another thing, like the things that you hear, all the time, where people are saying, play pretty, or, oh, you're too pretty to do this, or, oh, you're too sweet to do that, or, so on and so forth.
So how did you, that nature. So as a Black woman yourself, Do you find that most black women are are masculine or are they feminine?
It depends on the setting.
Man, I'm asking you to
In
generalize. Yeah,
general,
we're not talking about a woman that's working selling cars or at the strip club, or it depends on the setting. So she'll be more feminine
women,
if she's clapping those cheeks.
Black women feel as though they have to be more masculine because they are not in a space where I feel like they are a little more masculine. They're a little more on the masculine side.
Well, why do they have to be that way?
Because they haven't had the ability to just relax and not have to be that way. You have to do everything. Do you know what I put when I have things that need to be done in my house, I have to do them myself. If I don't have somebody around to do them for me, then I have to get into that masculine energy, tap into that, and do those things myself.
So what if you were living, do you live by yourself?
No.
Okay, so what if you did live by yourself? Do you have to
I don't have a man living in my house, is what I'm saying.
So what I'm saying is, if you were just a bachelorette in an apartment, do you think a woman has to tap into her masculine to do things around the house?
When I say things around the house, I mean like fixing the dryer or fixing a leak in the sink or putting a television on the wall, or things that men typically do.
So you don't believe in that independent shit that these women be talking about?
It's so good to be independent on a certain level. I don't mind being independent, but I would prefer a man to do those things. Like when I have to take my car to get it serviced, I don't want to do that. I'm always like, oh, if I just had somebody to do this for me, this would be so good.
Right.
Or I hate taking this trash out. This is more of like a man, a man's not responsibility, but is more of a masculine thing. I don't feel like doing that.
Right.
I'm not gonna lie. I don't want to fix the leak.
You don't want to fix
I don't want to fix the dryer. I don't want to do that.
So all that shit is like, when these women be saying that shit, that's all bullshit.
And I want to stay home sometimes. Sometimes I don't want to go to work. Sometimes I'm like, I wish I had, a man here to be like, baby, you don't have to go to that job.
You don't have to go to that
job. You don't even like those people.
So you think because I've heard a woman say this. Do you think there's, from the women that you talk to, and I see you callers, you guys are calling and we still talk. I'm gonna bring you guys on. Women, do you think there's a overwhelming majority of women that really want to stay home, or do they really want to be out here in these streets working?
Do you know how long Black women have been working? This was never our idea. This was this whole independent woman, this whole.
So why do they make these songs and shit and like toot this shit? Like,
it makes the money. You're gonna do the thing that makes you the money.
But you listening to it, is it making you money though?
Well, you know what? Then that's why you have a mind of your own. You have to choose what it is you feel is right. You have to choose,
But would you say though, you would say that, so you would say they are masculine, but it's because they're forced to be masculine? I
don't think that they're forced. They just feel like when you're in a position, say you were kicked out of your parents' house, mm-hmm. and you're like, oh, well, now I'm out in the streets. I don't even know what I have to do to make money, but you figure it out, right? And then you just continue to do that. It becomes a habit. It becomes a habit of like, what do I do to protect myself, to take care of myself? So it's not necessarily that they're being forced into doing something. It's just that they're doing what it takes to take care of themselves.
I guess I'm just looking at it, just listening to what you're saying is, yeah. Listen to what you're saying. Adulting, you're equating adulting to masculinity.
I don't believe that adulting is a masculine thing. It is partially masculine. What I'm saying is I'm a mother. Right. So as a woman, as a mother, like those are my responsibility is, in the house. My responsibility is to take care of things in the house. I'm not saying that I take care of everything, mm-hmm. right? But we are human beings. We're not robots. We get tired. Mm-hmm. Everybody wants somebody to, there's a space that you kind of just put people in. Mm-hmm. It's not to say that, because obviously these days and times you have men that stay home with the children and that sort of thing. So everybody kind of takes on their own separate roles. But if there are two people in the household, not to say that this makes you more masculine or this person more feminine, it's just that you know, you have two individuals that have chosen a role, and this is just what it is. 9 times out of 10, the woman is going to want to take the role of being home. If she has to be home with the children all day, or, you know, doing all the housework, you know, more than likely the man is out doing, you know, some work in the street. Maybe hard, you know, it could be hard labor. It could be he's sitting behind a desk. Who knows? I don't know. I mean, because there's so many different, uh, you know, different you know, workspaces that people, you know, take on these days. I mean, it doesn't mean that a man has to be out cutting down logs or building houses or, you know, on a ship somewhere. I mean, he could just be typing. He could be an accountant or something like that.
Well, we're gonna bring on the first caller here. I see. Something like you having some technical difficulties back there, but we're about to bring you on. Before we bring on the first caller here, guys, hit that like button. You guys are, I don't know, I don't want to call you guys lazy, but you know, we got, yeah, you know, I know we came on a little later this evening. We need to run it up to 100 likes. So hit that like button right now. We got 30 something people, almost 40 people in the chat. So it should be like 40 likes, which should be double of what it is now, you know. So much appreciated. Anyway, let me go ahead and bring on this first caller here. AT Quell, talk to me, sir. How are you doing this evening? You got to unmute yourself.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, all is well. How about yourself?
Hi.
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. And salute to the lady on the.
Where you calling in from?
Hi.
I'm in Wisconsin, Green Bay.
Shout out to Green Bay. Yes, sir. What's on your mind this evening?
No, I was listening to her talk, and I think this whole gender thing, this whole gender war, this whole thing of independence and all this other stuff is causing us a lot of suffering, and it's causing us a lot of issues. And generally, we need one another. Each party needs the other. And I think a lot of times we get so lost in self that we forget that humans are social creatures, and that each party brings something that the other one lacks in.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been married for 5 years. I've been with my wife 8 years. A lot of the things that I learned that I thought marriage would inevitably help me figure out manhood a lot more, and it didn't do any of that. It did nothing of the sort.
Yeah.
So what it did do is that it showed me that I had to be more responsible for what I said that I would be doing, holding me more accountable to keeping my word, and making sure that if what I said that I was going to do it. Because I think a lot of times when we say those words, we don't realize that we're still held to those vows, even 10 years after the fact. And I have I've changed, or my mind has changed about things. So I think a lot of people spend a lot of time where it's like they get comfortable and they don't know the difference between being alone and being lonely.
Gotcha. Was your wife feminine? Was your wife feminine when you met her?
In a lot of ways, yes. But when I wasn't doing what I need to do, no. So I would say that whenever I went against what I told her I would do, she would come out of being feminine. When I wasn't being honest with her, when I wasn't being truthful with her, it would cause a side to her that I didn't like to see. And I think that's the difference, is that people have to be honest about what you want from someone, and give them the option to leave. You know, give them out. If you feel like, as a man, I want more than one person, then you need to give that woman the option to say, okay, I'm okay with it, or I'm not okay with it, and I have to leave.
Right.
You know.
So do you think there's, based off what you're saying, is there such a thing as conditional femininity?
I don't think it's conditional. I think it's in you, and I just think sometimes that people act out of hurt. I think if they lash out, it's out of an emotional place, which women are emotional. Mm-hmm. So I don't think that it's based off condition. I think it's in you, or it's either in you or it's not in you. You know, either you're going to display it or you're not going to display it. What did Mobb Deep say? Ain't no such thing as halfway crooks. So it ain't it ain't nothing that you do halfway. It's either you're gonna do it or you're not gonna do it. And I just think a lot of times people have unrealistic expectations from in relationships. I think a lot of times they expect something from someone and not expecting them to expect something from them, if that makes sense.
Yep.
Right.
They want someone to give something, but they're not willing to give them something in return. Like as a man, I learned that my wife said that the one thing that she found attractive about me was, she was physically attracted to me, but because I had something to teach her, something to impart into her, that it that's what kept her around me, because I had something inside of me to teach. And I think as men, I think a lot of dudes don't have nothing to teach women anymore, and you're wanting a woman to follow you, but you don't have any type of plan or anything for her to any type of guidance to give her.
Absolutely, I 100% agree with that. Absolutely. We were discussing earlier. We were having a conversation, and I was telling him. Well, I asked him. I said, "Do you think that a man can teach a woman femininity? Is that something that can be taught by way of what a man likes to see in a woman, as far as what his definition of femininity is, or what femininity looks like to a man? Because obviously it's going to not necessarily be 100% all the time the same definition. You know what I mean? One, like, you may feel something, one way about a woman being feminine, and this man may say, oh, well, I don't think that's feminine at all. Or he may take bits and pieces of it and say, yeah, I like this, but this to me is not a feminine thing. But my question to you is, when you said that, you had moments in your relationship where she would be upset, and you felt as though she wasn't in her feminine energy at that moment. Is that because is it because of her being argumentative, or what made you feel like this is the moment where you're not being feminine with me?
Well, she was a Tasmanian devil, like just going completely off, and it was rightfully so, because I wasn't being the man that I needed to be. I wasn't. I feel like as a man, you always should be honest and stand on your word and stand on something, whether somebody disagrees with it or not. And I think sometimes we're so afraid of rejection and afraid that someone's gonna leave us or any of that I'm gonna change up, or I'm gonna change my answer based off of someone's feelings. But it's a difference. Like, you have to. It's a balance. So sometimes you have to be stern on what you say, and there's other times where you have to be gentle. Like, I'm learning that I couldn't always be roaring like a lion all the time. Sometimes I had to consider my woman's feelings. Absolutely. and make sure that I'm considerate of how she feels about stuff. Right. And there's other times where I got to take the lead and make sure that, okay, this is going to be what's best for us. But I got to have the discernment to know the difference, and then know when I got to lean on my woman, because if I picked her, then she must have something that I can trust about her. Right. Absolutely. I should be able to trust her counsel at times. So that's why I don't believe in being a dictator over your house and being a tyrant. I believe that you have to have the discernment. And just to go back to what you were saying about the femininity thing, a lot of that is when, like, I think the masculine feminine thing is certain baselines with it, but they're different for other people. So what I might like for my wife to do might not be what JR likes. Right. Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? So I think there's certain things that change within your relationships that we're molded for certain people, which is why it's harder for people when they get out of a 10-year relationship or a 20-year relationship to adjust to somebody else. You've been molded for that for that particular man. Right. Absolutely. What do you have to say about that?
I agree. Yeah. Spot on, man. Yeah. Spot on.
You said a lot, and I 100% agree with a lot of the things that you said. When you mentioned, people lying or, you know, telling lies and switching up and, oh, I'm going to do it this way because, or I'm going to, you know, I'm going to not tell the truth with regards to this situation because I don't want this person, I don't want to see what their reaction is. I was having a conversation with him and I was saying how, you know, people only lie because they are afraid of the response that they're going to receive from another person. So it's not necessarily I'm lying because I just feel like lying. I'm just out here just telling lies. No, I'm telling a lie because I'm afraid of what your response is going to be. Like, I want you to be here. I want you to stay with me, or I want you to, there's something that I want from you, but I feel as though if I tell you the truth, you're not going to give me the thing that I want. And obviously that is a selfish thought process to have, but at the same time, it's a fear of maybe losing someone or losing something. You know what I mean? You know,
right. Exactly. Because I mean, at some point though, we got to realize that our misconception of what love is, because love at its base, all it is loyalty and sacrifice. Is what you're willing to give to someone and what you're willing to give up for them.
Absolutely.
And I think sometimes we get so caught up in the whole falling in love thing that we forget that, all right, look, feelings are okay, but feelings change from day to day. Today I might there's sometimes I don't like my wife. But sometimes where I can't stand her, and I know it's times where she can't stand me. But we have to make sure that we hold on to something, because people are rare now. Good people are rare, and most people are batshit crazy.
Yeah.
You know, and so I mean, at this point, if you got someone good, then you need to value them by saying, okay, well, I might not like them. I'm gonna step away. I'm gonna step away for a while, calm down, and come back to the conversation. But because people think they have options that they don't really have, most people think, oh, I can get out here and I can find somebody just like that. But just because you have access to someone does not mean they're a viable option to what you want in your life.
Absolutely.
Excellent. Perfectly said, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and I'm just at a point in this in life now where I think a lot of people spend a whole lot of time thinking about what others think and not enough time about what you really need in your life.
Yeah.
You know, others are important, but at the end of the day, it don't matter about the space of red pill and independent woman. All of that stuff is grouping you and keeping you single and lonely. You know, it's nothing wrong with being a part of a group, but we got a bunch of people that's just getting in a group to say they're in a group, and you're not in a relationship, and you're trying to tell a woman, like, it's not my job to get up here and tell no other woman what to do. I'm obligated to my wife to make sure she's doing what she needs to be doing, and we're doing what we need to be doing together. I'm not up here to tell no woman what to do, but you got dudes up here telling women you can't twerk or you shouldn't be doing this and you're a thought and da 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 da. And I'm like, man, where's your woman at? You ain't got the right to be telling no other person what to do like that.
They don't have that at home. They have opinions. They live with these opinions because these women twerking are the reason why I don't have a woman. This woman doing this online is the reason why I don't have a woman. These people joining these clubs is the reason why I don't have a woman. So it's everybody's fault that they don't have a woman, and that's why they're so opinionated.
Right.
Yeah,
and,
for sure.
And I must just say this, and I'm about to get off, and I appreciate you letting me up, JR. And I just think that at this point in my life, man, I just realized, like, because at one point in time, I used to be one of those people where I blamed others, and the only thing that I could figure that I wound up finding out was I gave those people my time.
Right.
I let people waste my time. It wasn't nobody else's fault but me, because I allowed people. One, I didn't take time to be alone, you know, and I was lonely, so I made bad decisions based off of being lonely.
Right.
And then I blamed others for what happened to me. But my time is my time, and letting people in my life and letting them hurt me and keep letting them back and not taking time to see, okay, well, what went wrong in the last situation caused me to keep making bad decisions.
Right.
So it's like most people are going through train wreck after train wreck after train wreck, and leaving yourself in a desperate place and not taking time to see, okay, well, what do I need and how can I get what I want?
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's very, very important. And once again, because of the fact that you look within yourself and you ask those questions, obviously you've graduated to another level in your life where you are ready to ask those questions of yourself, face that, and, just take whatever answer, you received and work with that. So, I mean, good for you. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. And I appreciate both of you guys, and I hope you have a good evening.
Hey, likewise, bro.
Good night.
Have a good evening. Shout out to that brother right there. Looks like tonight is dead.
Your technical difficulties.
Nah. Yo, you talking about earlier? You think that's why? No, we had technical difficulties on the first episode, and it turned out great. But
it did. Yeah.
I don't want to complain on the air, man.
Yeah.
It's I'm like, how dare you? Like, where we at with this shit? Hit that like button, man. I'm about to. Should I turn up in this shit? Like, look at this. Maybe we picked the wrong topic tonight.
What do you want to talk about?
I'm breaking the third wall. Maybe we picked is it
what should we
black
talk about?
Black femininity is boring as fuck, I guess. You know what I'm saying? So
well, I think it's because people don't believe that Black women have the ability to be feminine. And I mean, it's really hard for me to obviously wrap my head around that when I already know that that's not true. That's 100% not true. I mean, I'm around Black women all the time, and that's definitely not the case. I mean, if, some women do feel like as though they need to switch it up, or, they can't necessarily be feminine. They can't move in their feminine way or their feminine energy at all times. But I mean, it's a, femininity goes hand in hand with, I think, confidence. You know what I mean? Presence. If I'm going to be feminine, I can't be, all over the place, just giddy and just, can't sit still, can't have a conversation, can't make eye contact. Yeah, I just got to be, relaxed, confident, and ready for whatever the moment brings.
Opinionated Reality said, you need more He-Man woman hater content. They'll be here by the hundreds.
Yeah.
I completely agree.
Yeah.
But fuck it. We're talking about the ladies tonight. Define specifically what femininity is. I need a definition. Well, you gave you one person's definition. My definition of a feminine woman is a woman who is, and this could be the ugliest motherfucker walking this earth. This could be a butt ugly Mongolian sewer rat, for lack of a better term. But this woman is caring. She's kind. She's intuitive. She is an empath. I was about to do my little shit just now. You know what I'm saying? She's an empath. She's an altruist. When she listens, she listens. She doesn't just hear to respond or whatever. She's taking it all in. And like I said, she's intuitive, so she can kind of see where this is going along. Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? In terms of that. So you don't have to tell her everything. You know what I'm saying? She kind of already picks up on it. Yeah. The way she carries herself, like I said, she could be ugly and dusty. You know what I'm saying? But she can still be feminine at the same time. And it's just like, I don't know, this chick is dusty, but it's something feminine. Yeah, it's something. It's that je ne sais quoi. It's that it's something about her. Like I wouldn't normally be attracted to this broad. You know what I'm saying? But something's going on here. Something's afoot.
Yeah.
Right. So I that's what I think. That's how I
believe that femininity, a woman being in her feminine energy, allows a man to be himself a lot more, where he doesn't feel like he has to tap into his representative, where he can just kind of let his guard down and be open to,
I think he'd get on his Don Juan shit. You know what I'm saying? I think a guy will melt like putty. Like you, for example, let's take it back to Harlem Nights. That's what comes to my mind. You know, an old girl when I forgot her name. You guys who've seen Harlem Nights.
Sugar Avery. I mean, not Sugar Avery. That's
Color Purple.
Color Purple. Oh my god. No. Yeah. No. I can't remember her name, but I know you're talking about.
She was a worker. She was a working woman, and the white guy was a cop. And basically, Della Reese said, "I got a girl whose pussy's so good that you throw it in the air and turn it into sunshine." And Red Fox was like, and she, even though she was a working girl, and I hate to go back to a working girl, but they've mastered it because they know. And I'm not saying it's all about seduction, but it's all about that presence that's brought forth. You guys ever been? And the same thing with women. You go to a nice restaurant, or you go to get on any type of customer service situation. You had somebody serve you, and you just like, I have to give her a tip, or like maybe an airline, and she's just like so kind. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like there's something about her. You know what I mean? Just the presentation of it, and it's just like, here, take my wallet. And that's what I tell women. You know what I'm saying? So it's just that
you tell
easy.
Women to take your wallet?
No, that's what I tell women. To be, if you want to, as far as being feminine, just that's what you have to do.
It is just about how you treat people overall, how you treat people, what you're what exudes when you're in the presence, because like you're saying, oh, it's this woman is intuitive, she knows what's going to happen next, and she knows how to talk to people, she knows how to finesse, and it's not, because sometimes I think about finesse and I think of like trickery or something like that, but I don't think that it's
you doing things with finesse. That's what they took it to, but when you do things with finesse, it's like with ease, it's like with that so it's funny, I'm playing this song in the background, Controller. Drake in this song says, do things that you want me to, like Controller. Femininity, control. So, and I'm gonna bring up this. I would like you to narrate this to the listeners and the viewers out here, right?
Okay.
You said you've had women say to you, how do you get men to do that? How do you do this? Or how do you, I think that's what you've said. You mentioned this in the past.
Yeah.
What was the advice that you've given them? Because obviously they want to know, it's something about you that men go crazy over, or whatever, or people just like you. People are drawn to you, men and women. They want to deal with you because of your femininity. Right. What do you tell these ladies? What is it when they ask you that?
So, I mean, of course, my all-time favorite response is, oh, you just have to be yourself. But I mean, maybe their selves are obviously not myself. I think that it starts here. You got to get into a person's head, not in a negative way, but you have to appeal to them, appeal to their better nature. What kind of heart do you have? What kind of person are you in general? And it takes a lot of conversation. I think that if a person knows how to communicate well, and they know how to hold a conversation regarding, I mean, it doesn't necessarily have to be what that person 100% wants to talk about, but that helps as well. I mean, whatever a man wants to discuss, you like to say that women like to talk about themselves. Men love talking about themselves. If you can get a man to talk about himself and the things that he likes, I'm telling you, this is so true. The things that he likes, and you find interest in those things as well, that's pretty much a hook, line, and sinker. I mean, I would say, I wouldn't have sex with that person, because I mean, that really just, what I mean is like, not in the very beginning. Men like the thrill of the chase. Men like to do things. Men like to feel like, I mean, men are an option. So they want to, and sorry if that feels uncomfortable for you, but they are options, and they want to be the best option. So even if they don't know that, they want to be the best option. If they're looking at a woman and they're like, hey, I'm really attracted to her, I'm really interested in her, I really want to get to know her better, I want to da-da-da-da-da-da. They know that another man wants to do the same thing. So they know they're an option, but they want to be the best option. They want to be the first choice. So they're going to do things. They're going to give you things. They're going to, you know what I'm saying? And if you as a woman know how to talk to a man, like if he says, oh, well, what do I have to do to, be able to see you, or for us to hang out or whatever, he's asking a question. you should have an answer. What is it that you need to do? What is it that you want from this person? You know, I've been having this issue with whatever. I really don't know how I'm going to get this thing taken care of.
Continue. Yeah. Go ahead. Yeah. So you're telling the guy.
I wish I don't know. It's so frustrating because I wish I could just fix it. I hate fixing these types of things on my own. It's just so frustrating. I don't know. And they want to do, they want me to pay all this money.
So what if a man's not intuitive to be like, well, sorry to hear that, baby. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know,
I think he would pick up very quickly.
He'll pick up.
Oh yeah. Because I mean, you know, because I mean, a lot of men will say, oh, I don't have a lot of money, but I got a lot of time. Well, guess what? I don't have. I can't match that. Because if I don't have what it takes to cover that thing, and I know people are going to be like, oh, well, she's a, whatever those numbers are, you called out.
304. She's a 304. Yeah. Go ahead.
Oh my God.
Yeah, continue.
Yes. Yeah. You just have to be, and it's not about, a man with money does not worry about spending money. Understand that. A man with money does not worry about spending money. A man with money is not going to say, oh, she's just trying to take my money. She's trying to blow through my money. She's trying to take something from me. If you have money, you're not concerned in that way when it comes to a woman. Okay. I think I said this before. I don't know if I said it on air, but I've said it to you. I've said any man knows around about how much money he's going to have to spend before he can get the thing that he wants. And any woman knows around about how much money needs to be spent. And it's not about a sex thing. But what I'm saying is, if you're trying to be a part of this person's life, like, I can't live on love alone. Like, you know what I mean? If you want to be in a relationship with me, you got to show me that you can protect me, that you can respect me, that you can be, you know what I'm saying? Be the man that I need you to be for me, because I'm not speaking for all women, because I don't know what every woman wants. I just know what I want. You know, so that conversation between me and another man is going to be had, and, you know, he's going to be able to, I'm going to have to give him an understanding of what it is that, you know, what my needs are, what my wants are, what is expected from him, and the same vice versa, you know, because obviously, you know, a man is going to have certain things that he, you know, certain needs met as well. And it doesn't necessarily have to be that, but I mean, obviously that's a thing, you know.
A nice massage.
Yeah.
Maybe a sandwich.
BLT or something.
Yeah. Maybe some eye candy at the you know, business
So what?
At a business social, you know. That's a weak-minded man. He should make her earn that spot, not about I need to know she's into me for me. Hey, yeah. You know, but
a weak-minded man in the sense that what?
You know, maybe he can call in and expound on that, you know, that's a weak-minded man that will only spend money for buns, I guess. I guess that's what he's talking about.
I mean, well, you know, whether you want to believe it or not, that's really what it is. Every single day, men spend money for buns. I mean, even married men. Men in relationships do it all the time. It's an exchange. Women are going to say, girl, I need to, you know, get whatever I need to get. Let me go on in here and give him what it is he wants. I mean, people say that all the time. Women say that all the time, because that's the person that they're in this relationship with. Or you know, you treat your man nice. You go in there and rub his head and talk to him sweet. And here's your dinner. And, you know, I've been thinking. And then that's how the conversation starts. Or, you know what I really would like? Or, you know what we should do? You know what I mean? So that's pretty much where it goes. People who are successful in relationships, they communicate well and they share. You know, so if I'm having a conversation with the person that I'm in a relationship with, and there's something that I want from him, it shouldn't be a problem for me to come and say, I want this thing, or I need this thing, and this man is willing to give me the money. And if it requires money, he's willing to give the money to me. That's going to make me want to be with him intimately, because I know that that's what he wants. And I mean, if I'm in a relationship with him, I would hope that that's what I want as well. Does that make sense?
Sort of. So the buns get dispersed once the check is
Not
cut.
all the time. It's not all the time. But what I'm saying is, it makes for an exciting, or it makes for
An exciting what?
a good exchange. It's a nice exchange, because if I just gave you some, and then we have the conversation, I mean, I imagine you probably don't want any more at that very moment, but that's not going to make me create a headache later on when you do want some. I mean, I'm just playing. I just said that because that's what I always hear. They say women always say they have a headache.
That shit don't work with me. You gotta let me see something. Shit.
What do you do?
All that headache. You gonna have to get the fuck up out of here if you ain't trying to. You know what I'm saying? Either you gonna come up off the goods, or you gonna have to, all that shit like that. So, not fortunately, fortunately for me.
Mm-hmm.
But what's up with everybody, man? I'm about to get the fuck up out of here. This shit got me depressed up in this bitch.
Not depressed. Not depressed.
So, soft girl era. What's your thoughts on that?
Oh god.
Soft girl era. Since
I think that's the phrase that's taken over the word femininity.
And you I've heard you use that.
I have used that.
What does that mean? So it takes over femininity. Continue.
Yeah, well, and that's what it is. It's just that, I mean, it's just the phrase that they use in the place of the word femininity. That's what I think, because it's just a time in your life. I don't know if that necessarily means that you're just working on yourself in that particular moment of your life to become more feminine.
So what does it take to get a woman in her soft girl era?
I mean, that's a choice.
He has to get me in my soft girl. I'm trying to be in my soft girl era.
Yeah.
What does that mean? You a hard bitch?
I think she has
What the fuck is going on here? Go ahead.
I think she has to be.
Why is there only 27 people in here? What the fuck is going on here?
Stop that.
This is fucking stupid. But anyway, why the fuck is there 27 people in here?
I don't know.
Damn. Anyway,
it's late.
No, it's not late. The motherfuckers was in here last week, late as fuck. 27 motherfuckers in here. Did these motherfuckers hit the man? Era. This shit about to fucking piss me off.
No.
The fuck? Maybe I do need to be talking about hoes up in this bitch and just going off just he-man, woman here. Nobody wants to hear about femininity, JR. Nobody wants to talk about these hoes.
They want to talk about something.
We want to talk about slandering these bitches and how they don't like us because we talk proper and we like robots and Voltron and fucking Transformers and we like to race cars and yeah. Let me get me a white girl. Let me get a white bitch. That's what motherfuckers want to hear, man. They don't want to hear this shit.
Well, I don't know. Soft girl
era. But I'm just getting your opinion because
I don't think that a person has to get somebody in their soft girl era. I think that you have to.
Y'all about to piss me off up in this bitch tonight. Go ahead.
I believe that soft girl era is just a moment in time. It's just a time that a woman chooses to find her way in her softness. She wants to be delicate like a flower. So obviously this is the time to do it. And I don't really understand that whole he has to get me in my soft girl era.
That's my next thing.
Like, I don't know if it's like putting yourself in a soft girl era. Are you is someone having to put you there? Because I believe that that's a choice. So if I'm going to be in a soft girl era, I'm actually doing that on a continuous basis. Like every single day I'm working on being more soft, more feminine.
Soft girl era. A guy, if he wants to see me in my feminine, he has to make me feel a certain way. When I told you we were going to talk about this, I mentioned to you that how would that sound? And I think that the corny ass motherfucker from Fresh and Fit, y'all know what I'm talking about. He brought this up, which I think that's the first thing I agree with that corny ass dude. If a man said, well, Tina Summers, I'm not going to act masculine unless you get me to the point where I'm in my masculine. Does that fucking make sense?
No.
Why did you have to make me feel secure for me to be in my masculine? And what was your what was your answer
What
to
did
that?
he say? I just think well,
You
I
said
agree
it's
with you. I
different,
was
but you
like,
said it's different though with women.
it is different with women, though. I mean, I feel like when a woman is saying that you have to put her in her soft girl, or you have to, she needs to operate from a feminine space, but a man needs to be the person to help her in that, to get to that space. She's basically saying you need to be my soft place to land at the end of the day. If I can trust that you can handle all the hard things that I believe that a masculine man needs to handle, then I can be a lot more feminine to you. Otherwise, she's going to be aggravated and agitated. She has to do all the hard shit. She doesn't want to do all the, what I'm saying? Like, all the masculine things. As a man, I believe that a man should constantly be in a masculine way, but there's so many men that are not masculine these days. So it's not like, I mean, I would never, if a man told me you have to put me in my masculinity, that's going to just make me, I would lose it. What do you mean?
The guys are watching, they're saying that women are saying it's okay for a woman to say this though. You have to be able to unlock this secret code for me to be feminine.
And if you don't have the energy or the time to deal with something like that, then move on. But if a woman is saying that to you, maybe you should ask her what the hell she means. Like, what do you mean? What is this? And if she's saying it to you and you're having a conversation with her and she's saying, oh, you need to, put me in that feminine space. Why is she saying that? Why? What is happening in that moment that you feel as though she's not being feminine?
Let me ask you this. Mm-hmm. Do you think white women are more feminine than black women?
I think they're a little more submissive. And why? I think they're a little more submissive.
They're not more feminine, they're more submissive.
I think they're a little more submissive.
What do you mean by that?
I believe they're a lot more agreeable.
Why is that? Is it because the men are more masculine?
No, I don't think that the men are more masculine.
So why are they more agreeable?
That they were taught that. They were taught to be that way. I 100% believe that they were taught to be that way. Whereas in a black household, if a woman grew up with a black mother, 9 times, not all the time, but 9 times out of 10, I mean, a black woman has been like, okay, let me show you what you need to do. Just like a man, like a black man, right? Okay, if you have black sons, you are going to say, unfortunately, I have to have this conversation with you because I don't want you to get,
right,
you know what I'm saying, by somebody that could potentially hurt you because for whatever reason, this is what's happening to black men. As a black woman, you have mothers that are like, listen, let me show you how to clean this house from top to bottom. I'm going to show you how to change this tire, even though that is something that a woman should know how to do. Let me show you how to cut this grass in case you have to, do this on your own. Let me teach you how to, take care of whatever bills you have to take care of, what needs to be taken care of first. How to navigate the world without a man, basically, because I guess they are in the mindset that maybe she will end up without a man someday. And I mean, white women are not like that. They teach their daughters, go out and find a husband and live happily ever after. That's pretty much what I think that's what the difference is. That's my opinion. I believe that's what the difference is.
Do you think, and I think I've had this conversation with you, which you say, I don't see that. I don't see that. Do you think more black women take care of black men than white women taking care of white men?
I don't see that. I don't see, I've never done it. So I don't know what that's like. I would, my skin would crawl. I don't know what I would do if I had to take care of a man. Like, I mean, if he's sick and this is my man and I have to take care of him, that's one thing. But if he's home just chilling all day and I'm at work and I come home and it's a baby boy situation, nah, I can't do that. I can't see with a telescope. I can't see it.
Like I told you, it's an overwhelming amount.
I mean, and that's sad because a black man should want to take care of, you know what I'm saying, a woman or a household. I mean, and let me tell you something else. I believe that that's where men lose interest in women when they become their mothers.
Of
when
course.
the men become their
They
mothers. That's
resent
why
them.
they get cheated on. That's why they get treated like, you know, the way that they get treated. Because no man wants you to become his mother. Nobody wants you to, you know, no man wants to be mommy, because once you become mommy, you're no longer a girlfriend. I don't want to be your mom. I want to be your woman. So I'm never going to take that role. You already have a mom. Some way, somehow you have a mom, whether she was in your life, whether she was a good mom, bad mom, whatever, you have a mother. That's not my place. You know, you were already raised, you were already grown. You came into this relationship, situationship, whatever, as an adult. So yeah, once the roles have reversed, or once the roles have changed and a woman decides that she's going to mommy her man, he's going to lose so much interest because he doesn't have respect for a woman who wants to be his mom versus being his woman. He's going to let her do the things that she wants to do. And he's still going to, I'm pretty sure he's still going to sleep with her. He's going to lay down with her and do whatever it is he needs to do. But at the end of the day, he's not going to, you know what I'm saying? He's not going to respect her. And he's probably going to go find somebody else that makes him feel like a man. Because, I mean, your mom doesn't make you feel like a man. Your mom makes you feel like, you know, you're her child. So that's just how I feel.
You have spoken, my child. You have said exactly what I say, and this is what my exact thought process. If you take care of a man, you will resent him, he will resent you, and because he resents you and he doesn't feel like a man, he needs to get with a woman on the side that will make him feel like a man.
Absolutely.
So he'll procure some buns on the outside.
He will be smashing everybody. You know what I mean? He's going to do the thing that is in his nature to do. But at the end of the day, he's going to feel more, you know, comfortable, confident, happy, relaxed. He's going to feel like he can be in his masculine energy. Because, I mean, as you
even
know,
if he broke his fuck.
Yeah. As a, you know what I'm saying? A son is going to feel like, oh, well, I need my mom. My mom is going to do this. Oh, my mom will take care of that for me. My mom will do this for me. My mom will do that for me. As a man that, you know, with a woman who's like, okay, this is what I need you to do. You're the man. I'm not about to wipe your nose. I'm not about to, you know what I'm saying, do all the things that your mother would do. You need to take on some responsibility and man up in here in this relationship. And I'm not about to be like, oh, well, let me go and work because I know he needs this money and I know he needs, I mean, different strokes for different folks. All I'm saying is I don't want to be that person who's mothering a grown ass man. You got a mama, and it's not me.
Excellently spoken. I'm glad you said that.
It's
you
true.
know, but you said you haven't seen that.
I've seen it, but it's not like I haven't seen it up close and personal. You know what I'm saying? I haven't ever, I've never done that. You know, but I don't see it on the regular. You say you see it all the time. I don't see that on the regular.
I've done, well, I don't do it anymore. For those of you guys who don't know, I was involved in the finance industry, specifically credit, or as you ghetto motherfuckers say, Pacifically credit. I was involved in that for quite some time, and 98% of my clients were female, and they were in relationships, with dudes that, weren't spearheading the relationship like a man should be doing. But that's neither here nor there. Let me go ahead and read Prince Revolver. Shout out to Prince Revolver, one of my loyal subscribers. No man at any point in society can get away with saying he'll be masculine for the right woman. If a woman isn't feminine with or without a man, that's on her. Yeah, a man is masculine in all aspects.
Mm-hmm.
So and a woman should be the same. It shouldn't be like a switch I'm turning on and off for the right man. For the right man, I've been paying bills. I've been single, or I've been a single mom since I was 13. So for the right man that comes across, I'll be feminine. But until then, I've been having to be masculine.
Yeah.
We're not doing that,
though. I don't think that people should say that. I think
but
that what it is.
You hear that though.
I do hear it. I don't think that people should say it. I believe that people should just live their truth. They are who they are. You know what I mean? And there's got to be some femininity in there somewhere, because typically a masculine man doesn't want to have sex with a masculine woman. I mean, I wouldn't think that that's what he would want to do. I mean, because it's levels, I guess it's levels of masculinity. But I mean, if you got a girl that's harder than you, like, do you really want to
A dude will stick his penis in a wet hole. It don't matter. let me paint you an example, because I think I told you about this. I had a client once upon a time, and she was a truck driver, and she said, she was like, she was actually gonna cancel the session that we had, but then she went ahead and did it, and she was like, she actually paid for sex. She paid men for sex.
Oh
wow. Because she didn't want to go through the process of looking feminine and things like that. She felt it was just easier just to pay them for sex. So I asked her when we had the session, I was like, well, how do you dress typically? Like, what do you wear? She was like, I just wear like a flannel shirt and some khaki pants and some boots. I said, do you think that looks feminine or appealing to a man? She said, no. I said, well, do you like a man that looks feminine? Do you like a man that, wears nut huggers, some tight ass pants, and, got a V-neck down to here? And, she was like, no, I like my men looking masculine. Even though she looked masculine.
Right.
She was like, I like my men to look masculine. I was like, so why do you think he wants a woman that looks masculine?
Right.
So you're trying to attract a man, but you're looking masculine. You look like, and it was like a light bulb went off in her head.
Right.
But for some people, I get it. They would much rather pay for sex, and that was her thing. I can just pay for some dick, and that'll be that. And that's one of those things I think about. But this whole thing, I think women regurgitate talking points, and it's almost like an echo chamber when they say, well, for the right guy, I'll do this for the right guy. Right. And it's conditional femininity. If, so you're going to be like this until
how will you even know the right guy? How will you know that he's the right guy to be feminine for? Yeah. Like, are you just going to keep your femininity until, like, what cue does he give you that, hey, I'm the right guy to be feminine with? I think you should be feminine with all men, because I mean, at the end of the day, he could be the right guy. You don't fucking know. You don't know who the right guy is. You want a man to be able to look back and say, oh yeah, she was a real, you know what I'm saying? She was a real, even if things don't work out, he will respect you more, I believe, even if he sees you in the street, oh, I know she's such a lady, this is, she's a very feminine woman, and have nothing but nice things to say. And whether they have nice things to say or not, it's about how you feel at the end of the day. I'm not about to walk around because if I'm not in my feminine energy, or if I'm not being feminine, how am I actually being? So am I being like a jerk to everybody? Am I being nasty and disrespectful to all men that I encounter? Am I being ugly? Like, if you're not being feminine, what are you being?
Well, black women are looked at as assholes. They're mean. They don't speak. They don't feel like they have to speak.
It's so unfortunate, because that it's so unfortunate, and it's very, well, yeah, that's true. But it's very unfortunate because, in my day-to-day, I encounter a lot of white women. And it's sad because when I have conversations with them, they're like, oh my God, you're so pleasant. And I'm like, what the hell else should I be? Yeah. I'm like, oh, thank you. Like, what the hell? Am I supposed to not be pleasant? But I think, and I'm only saying this to you because of what you just said. So it's unfortunate. I think it's just a misconception, though, because like you said, they're seen as assholes. We're seen as disrespectful, mean, having an attitude, rolling your eyes, moving your neck, just all these things. We're seen as this. So when they see you up close, like, it's like, oh my God, there's actually really nice black people out here.
So if you think, so this is a white person saying this, or a white woman saying this
all the time.
But this is one of the issues that black men have with black women, is that you don't want anybody to talk to you. Don't speak to me. Don't say anything. Even if you're asking, how's my day? I've seen posts where they're like, you don't need to be asking me, how's my day? Asking me, I don't owe you nothing. I don't owe you a response. I don't owe you shit. But it's common courtesy. But at the same time, black men will say, you want me to protect your ass once somebody start thumping on you, or once somebody start doing some shit to you, or once there's some racism, or somebody perpetrates some type of crime against you. Yeah. But you can't even speak to me. These are things that
So
black men are saying. Like, you want me to do all these things, but I don't even get the common courtesy to speak to me. Like, some white women will speak to me, but you act like you're too good to speak to me. You know,
I was reading this and I actually wanted to get more, like do a little more research, because I feel like there may be some truth behind this. They were saying that a lot of that is just the way anxiety looks for Black women.
don't let it be a light skinned black woman. But yeah, go ahead.
What do you mean?
Oh yeah, that's the worst. Like, I don't gotta talk.
Oh, I
I don't.
forgot. You said I'm not light skinned, so
Yeah,
I
yeah.
wouldn't
You're
understand.
not light skinned. Yeah, yeah. Don't let it be a light skinned black woman. Yeah, forget it. You know, she ain't about to do nothing. You know what I'm saying? So I'm saying that this is an issue that black men are speaking about. You want me to protect you, but you can't say hello. If these people in this
How are they
store,
saying hello? I mean, you know,
anybody,
call me the victim blame or
what's up,
whatever, but
what's up, shorty? Let me get some ass. I mean, ain't nobody doing that shit.
I
Like,
know, but like, I mean, if somebody's like, "Hey, how you doing?" I'm gonna be like, "Hey, how you doing?"
that's you.
Yeah. So that's why it's hard for me to kind of like,
And we're
I
talking
guess, see
about
it.
femininity. That's what I'm
Right.
saying. So this 26 motherfucker, man, I'm about to get off this motherfucker, man. God damn, man. What the hell is going on? Like, this is some bullshit. Anyway, yeah, it's I'm gonna finish this shit up and get up out of here, man. You know, this this shit.
You gotta say, you gotta talk dirty.
You gotta, I gotta, yeah. I don't gotta, man. Fuck these motherfuckers. Fuck these motherfuckers. If y'all rock with me, y'all rock with me, man. That shit is just disappointing, man. How do you go from 350 last, to, anyway, yeah. But yeah, this is things that men are saying.
Yeah. All right. So I mean, at the end of the day, like I said, it's it may be some level of anxiety that we don't know.
I think that's a good topic. I'm gonna do that video. You want me to protect you? You want me to protect you, but your ass can't speak? You want me to protect you, but you can't speak? Talk to Zaddy, baby. That's how brothers feel. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We are avoiding the real talking points. Being masculine and feminine, ain't it? You gotta go back to people's childhoods to see where their traumas are. Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, this is we can everything how you conduct yourself, who you are from day to day is who you. I think Javon said who you are when you're I should message him and tell him to call in. Who you are, your seventh grade self, that's who you are. I think that's what he said. Who you were in the seventh grade, that's basically who you are for the rest of your life.
Oh.
That's what he said.
Yeah.
That's his thought.
I believe that maybe the only way that I can look at that and agree with it is to say that the seventh grade you lives within you. So that child lives within you. And that's why, they preach positive self-talk and, always saying the things to you that you would say to a child that age, because that person still lives within you. That child still needs to be, nurtured and spoken to nicely and respected and, so on and so forth. So I don't necessarily feel like you become a seventh grade version of yourself. I think that you're still an adult, but you still have a child that lives within you.
You still got a child that lives within you.
Yeah. I believe that you need to speak nicely to, that you're trying to not raise, but like just be good to.
Yeah, he was saying, I just messaged him,
I know.
but he was saying that that's who you are. That identity, I guess that's the formative part of life. That identity is who you are. And I get what you're saying. That person lives inside or whatever, but that's who you are.
Right.
So it's, I don't know where the fuck I was going with this, but yeah, I lost my train of thought outside of that. brothers are tired of trying to squeeze a hello or some compassion or just some.
Does that hurt their feelings though? If a person speaks and they don't get a response back, like how like tragic is your day after that?
I think even you said it, even a dog deserves respect.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely. I don't know if it's about respect unless it's like you're being disrespected. And then being disrespected, that's also, subjective, right? Because what I may feel is disrespectful, you may not feel the same way.
I think not speaking to somebody when they speak to you is across universal, is disrespectful.
Yeah.
I know, I get it. Women say it's a security thing. If I speak to him, he's gonna talk to me. If I don't speak to him, he might delete me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
These things in terms of the safety of Black women.
Mm-hmm.
I get it, but
I mean, just like somebody said earlier, you have to go back to a person's childhood. I mean, you don't know the traumas that people have experienced. And it's not to say if they just don't speak, that's one thing. But I mean, if they just go off, that's like, what's the problem? Like, where does that stem from? Why are you speaking in that way? Like, what has happened in your world, in your life, that makes you feel as though you have to go get that extreme, go to that extreme.
So I guess if you in the nail shop, you in the nail shop, and all of a sudden this Asian dude start putting the beaters on your ass, right? You start saying, I didn't ask for this pink, I asked for another pink. Motherfucker say, what, bitch? Then all of a sudden, black man, I need some help. Black man, where are you? Black man, come boycott this motherfucker. Right. Come shoot. Right. Yo, black man. There's a problem with that when you just walk past me like I didn't exist. There's a serious issue with that. You know what I'm saying? I think that there's a serious issue with some shit like that. I'm gonna send Javon this link real quick.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a serious issue with that, and I guess you're looking at not everything has to be about getting buns. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, absolutely.
Because I guess we can equate it to that. I hate when it does this. I hate when it does. I'm trying to copy the link to send to him. Yeah, sorry about that, guys. Yeah, but it doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be that.
Right.
Sorry, guys. I was trying to send this brother a link. There we go. Yeah, it doesn't have to be that. Click it. You want to you want to keep them comfortable?
So I'm sorry. I got super distracted. I had a squirrel moment. I'm just like sitting here like. But yeah, somebody said in here that someone saying hello is them showing you respect, and I agree with that. I mean, it's just that I personally can't really relate to just not speaking back. I mean, it's too easy to just say hello right back to a person. Yeah. I don't understand where all the dramatics and the cussing somebody out or being ugly towards them. I don't understand exactly why would you need to even take it that far. If you don't want to speak, just don't speak and keep it moving. So, I mean, and a lot of people say that's a down south thing also, because I mean, people don't just randomly go out and speak, just go out and speak to people. Like if you're in like a bigger city up north, I mean, people just don't speak. They just don't and you speak, that's foreign to them. They're like, oh, they must be from somewhere else, because they're all about minding their business and just keeping it moving.
I mean,
but I get what you're saying. I mean, like if we're talking about here and now, we're talking about us, we're talking about where we're from, we're talking about what we're used to doing, what we're accustomed to, then yes, it is it's a level of respect, to just speak back and just keep it moving. I mean, if somebody's trying to hold a conversation with you, you know how to just cut it off and keep it moving. I can't speak for every situation, because I mean, some people are, some people have been harassed.
Yeah.
By people that, by men specifically. I mean, women could potentially be seen as harassers as well, but I mean, some women have been harassed by men, it just by speaking back, because I mean, sometimes people have mental issues and they equate oh, hi to, oh, she must really like me, and I should definitely pursue this situation and see what comes of it. And she's really just like, nah, bro, I just said hi, like I'm not interested.
Yeah.
So
it must be tough being a woman.
it is.
Yeah,
it's not easy.
You got unlimited attention.
Attention.
You gotta sort through the shit. And
you gotta
creeps.
There's so many things you gotta shuffle through. You gotta pick the right one.
Got suitors coming at you with proposals and shit left and right. You know what I'm saying? And
it's tough.
It's a cold world out here.
It really is.
You know what I'm saying? Adonesia says it is. God bolt. We got some God bolts around here.
We do have God bolts.
That's only maybe she is from South Carolina. Who knows? With that name God bolt.
I don't think that people in big cities aren't being civil. It's just that they just don't. They don't like. I mean, they mind their business.
Yeah. Well, mind your business when you get your ass whipped. Too. You know what I'm saying? When you get your ass.
No, I'm just saying they don't just randomly speak. I mean, like, we literally go in the store and we see somebody, hey, how you doing? We don't know these people, but we just speak. That's just something that we do. It's just a normal thing. I know I do all the time. I mean, I'm just so used to being around people that, like, I'm always just speaking to people just for no reason at all. And, people always like, oh, girl, I thought I knew you because because of that.
I'm gonna bring on the master teacher. He called in here because I got a question for the brother. I know he got a good answer. Master teacher, how you doing this evening, sir?
What up, fam?
Hey man, I appreciate you calling in. We was talking about this concept here, and I said Javon, I know Javon got an answer real quick, in reference to this. And the first question I have for you, and good evening, by the way, sir. You know what I'm saying?
How you doing, sister?
Hello. All is well. Hello. So we was talking about femininity, right? And finessing. You know what I mean? And from my opinion, and I know you got your own perspective on it, a woman that is feminine and knows what she's doing, and finessing, we don't even say finesse as a bad word when we talk about.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, she can get anything she wants. In my estimation, she can get anything she wants out of a man. You know what I mean? If she presents that. So we were talking about, can a man teach a woman to be feminine? And I know we and you discussed that in the past, but I forgot what you had said in reference to that.
Well, women are feminine.
Yeah.
And men are masculine.
Right.
Anything other than that is acting.
Right. I remember you said that because you had said something like a woman can't be masculine. I remember
can't be.
That, right? Yeah. And
can't be.
Why is that?
Well, I'll give you an example. Masculine qualities do things that women can't do. You understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. If you can't open pickles or change a tire, if you can't fight off a man off of you. A perfect example. A teacher beat up a little girl. Right. A grown woman beat up a little girl. Now, a grown woman's strength is more than a little girl, no different than a grown man's strength is more than a woman's.
Right.
But a man in his masculinity has to control himself and maintain himself and not use that strength, power, and aggression. So, for example, what if a woman had the strength of a man? All children and men would be dead.
Right.
See, men, masculinity is thoughtful, it's rational, and it controls it. That's why the universe or God or the creator, whatever, gave us the strength. See, where power, there comes great responsibility. Mm-hmm. And see, if we gave the women the power of a man, it would be a total different world. So what I'm saying is, a man can't be feminine. That's just a man acting.
Yeah.
See, femininity turns me on. It's sultry. It's welcoming. A man acting like a woman is disgusting to me. So what we have to understand is we just say stuff in the Black community with these words. A woman can't be masculine because she's feminine. Now, a woman will be aggressive and not listen or not communicate or not cooperate with certain men. And men started calling them masculine.
Right.
They didn't say that. That's weak men. See, weak men got with women. I hope the sister can hear this. Weak men got with women that wouldn't listen to them or let them lead and guide them or wouldn't cooperate or communicate with them.
Right.
So that man said, she's masculine. No, she not, brother. She don't want to get on your plan.
Right.
She's not masculine because she'll hop on the next man's plan and act like a kitty cat.
Right. So
women can't be masculine and men can't be feminine. Now, men can be non-assuming, non-aggressive, illogical, emotional. But I just say, hey, man, that's not you being feminine. That's not you thinking.
Yeah.
So, you know, I'm an English teacher, man, and words are powerful. So that's the worst thing we can ever do is call our women masculine. And the worst thing we ever done in this world is when we started calling men feminine. Once a man could call himself feminine, now a man can be a woman.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we need to be very careful how we allow ourselves to matriculate into this white folk English language. Although we think we speak it well, we really illiterate and we don't speak it well at all. Talking about men are feminine and women are masculine.
So what you said, you know, because I changed my my vocabulary based off of listening to you in terms of that, you know. So I no longer say it since you had said that in terms of calling women masculine. So back to what for the fellas that's listening and for the women that's listening, just because a woman's not on your plan doesn't mean that she's being masculine. It's conditional in terms of she'll do it for the right man. But
they say it all the time.
Yeah.
They said, if I meet the right man, I'll be feminine. What they're really saying is, if I meet the right guy, I will cooperate, I will communicate, I will compromise. Man, I got this stuff broke down in a lesson, the 5 C's of love: cooperate, communicate, compromise, coexist. Hey, listen, man, that's all they're saying. Think about it. Anytime you juxtapose a statement, do the reverse negative of it. If a woman say, if I meet the right man, I'll be feminine. What if a man said, if I meet the right woman, I'll be masculine? It sounds crazy. So all you have to do is flip the mirror.
We were just talking about that. That's why right before I called you, we were just talking about that whole situation. If a man saying that, it just sounds crazy, like you said, in terms of flipping it. So it doesn't work out. You know what I mean? But I definitely, you know, appreciated your perspective on that, because so many men and women are using that in terms of women saying, I'm in my masculine because I'm a single mother. I'm by myself. I got to do everything by myself. Ain't no man in my life. So I got to raise these kids. So I got to be masculine.
No, she's in survival mode.
Right.
She's just surviving. And that's what a lot of people don't understand. You're not masculine. You're actually extra feminine. You're exposed to a double elements. You're exposed to the rigors of having to raise a child, mother and nurture, and work 8 hours a day. That's not being masculine. No man wants to work 8 hours a day. Right. Do you want to work 8 hours a day? You're a content creator. I don't have a job. I haven't worked in 10, 12 years. I'm a school teacher by trade. But my whole life was trying to make it so I didn't have to work.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So what we do in the Black community, I'll give you a perfect example of what we do. We hyperbolize our trauma. For example, a Black man will say, going to prison at 19 is the best thing that ever happened to me. It changed my life. Right? That's what he'll say. And to get out and speak about prison, the same thing our sisters will say, having a baby at 15, the best thing that ever happened to me.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? That's what we do. It's like a guy that grew up on the south side. He lived on the south side. He never left the south side. He don't have the mental capacity to move away from the South Side. He has no resources, no skills. So he is really South Side for life. So he actually put it on his arm. And he will brag about being from a neighborhood that his mother was forced to live in, that they never felt safe in.
Right.
That's what we do, brother. So when I'm by myself, surviving, struggling, I'll call myself strong. If I got locked up at 19, I'll say I jumped off the porch early. I won't say, you know what? My mom wasn't supervising me. I didn't do any correct extracurricular activities. I wasn't supervised after school, man. Yeah. You know, when all the other kids were in band playing football and stuff, I had to get off the school bus, so I had to walk home. I had to walk through the hood, and the pimps and the guys said, hey, why that young boy ain't doing nothing extracurricular? His mama must not care about him. We can give him a gun. We can give him some dough. He don't want to say he was preyed upon. Right. This is what we do, brother. Mm-hmm. And our whole community is wrapped up into this. This is exactly the mentality we have. That's why women are masculine and men are feminine. Mm-hmm. That's why we say the words as opposites, brother. Mm-hmm. We have an opposite mentality, and it burns my heart as a former English teacher. I understand the words we say. We're petty. A petty officer is small, little. We're petty. We're insignificant. We do small, insignificant things. We're a small, insignificant person. That's what we're saying about ourselves. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And we love it. And it's a word. Think about the opposite in the world, in the animal community, in the world. The men peacocks show off and do the dance.
Yeah. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep.
The lion fight. The fish do dances. So many, the male's supposed to say, look at me, look what I got. You should want me. But what do we do in our community? It's reverse. The women show off and peacock. Look at me, look at me, look at me, look at me. And that's why our communities are messed up. We do everything backwards. Our men sit back and say, I'm going to sit back and see what the chicks look like out here and see what's looking like. No, nigga, you ought to be out showing what you got, what you can give to the women in the community and the children.
Yeah.
We've ass backwards, bro.
I'm glad you said that, man. I know you was going to come in here with the common sense and stuff like that. Because we, like I said.
That's all it is.
Yeah. That whole thing.
JR.
Yeah. What's up, sir?
I promise you, brother, we know this shit. Everything I just said, we know this. The entire race know this. Smart, social media ass response. I said 15 years ago, the camera on the cell phone will destroy the black race. You can't give us our own media. What did our grandma say? Hey, keep family business in the house. Don't let air your dirty laundry. Be home before the sun come up.
Yep.
The stuff that we do, the debauchery, the fuckery, the lasciviousness, the things that we do that we brought to the forefront. We done brought the whorehouse to the forefront. Yep. Grandma and them had the hoochie coochie. Yep. Everybody had it. Yeah. Every generation had they fuckery. Every generation. We bought it out. I'm going to throw shade if I can't get paid. Grandma just said, look, I ain't going home with nothing but a wet ass. Give me some money to take care of my babies. And men knew and behaved accordingly.
Right.
We was just talking about
Absolutely.
that. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Before you came on.
Bro, you know how passionate I get. If you got to ask me another question, I'm going to chill out.
No, you good. That's why I brought, because I mean, I think you're one of the minds of common sense and a straightforward approach from, a generation that's being forgotten. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? In terms of manhood. And I know you got, I think you changed your name. I don't even think you changed your name back.
I changed my name to Modern Masculine Man.
Yeah.
And the word modern and masculine became a thing. I think more people watch me than I get credit for. I think I'm more influential. So I changed it back, but I'm a masculine man. I'm your great grandfather. I'm your granddaddy in the new age.
Right.
I do what granddaddy do, but I do it openly and honestly and in truth. If you got a woman and you like another woman, or if a woman got a man and like another man, be open and honest. If you ugly, you can't do it. If you ain't got no bread, you can't do it. If you ain't got a big dick, you can't do it. Stop trying to do shit everybody else can do. Everybody don't get a trophy. Everybody ain't a superlative. You remember when we was kids, when we was growing up, and they say perfect attendance, and the kids got their award, AB honor roll, you know, principals list. Then they start giving out awards, and it's like, you really sit there and didn't get no awards.
Yeah.
And that shit sting. And at the least, I'm gonna get fucking perfect attendance next semester. Yeah. I can do that. Yeah. You understand what I'm saying? Now everybody want a fucking trophy. So every cornball gump and every big fat chick want the top guy. You don't get to fuck the quarterback if you ain't the cheerleader. What do you mean? Mm-hmm. What do you mean? And we lying. Yes. What do you mean? I'm 6'6", white teeth. Look at that big head of hair, afro, grow a full beard, intelligent, master's degree. You think you can do what I do? No, you can't. And I'm not being arrogant. I'm just saying I'm a man that'll tell a woman the truth. Okay. This sister right here, fine as hell. She might get away with another. She gonna get in the club free. Yeah. She ain't got to go before 10. Yeah. And she ain't standing back saying, y'all let the fat chicks in too.
Exactly.
We weak. Everybody get an opinion now. Yeah. Social media and this phone gave people that would have been afraid to talk in public a voice, and they can hide behind it. I got this concept called your 7th grade self.
Mm-hmm. That's what I was calling to ask you about. I forgot. Go ahead, sir. Go ahead.
Whoever and whatever you were in the 7th grade is what you will always be. You may blossom from an ugly duckling to a swan. You may get a little money, but you're still going to be that same socially awkward person. You're never going to be a cool kid. And it's not about being cool, just your 7th grade self is who you're going to be. And I posted it on my Facebook. In the 7th grade, I had a girlfriend and another girl had 2 dates at the prom.
I saw that.
That's me, bro. That's been me. Whoever you are in the 7th grade, think about this, man. 7th grade is when you enter the middle of childhood. Right. 35 is when you enter the middle of adulthood. You're the same person. Bro, some science to this. I ain't just a man talking. So your 7th grade self is who you'll always be. You was cool in the 7th grade. How do you get cool in the 7th grade? You got to be an athlete, dress good, pretty, or smart. How do you be cool as an adult? An athlete, dress good, pretty, or smart. Dressing good equals money as an adult. Mm-hmm. Remember when we was kids? We like the kids that dress good. We didn't know if they was on Section 8 or welfare. As long as they dress good, that was a sign of money. Right. It's the same thing. The cute people are still cute. You get it? Mm-hmm. The smart people are smart and then gone on and got good careers. They were smart in school. They were known for being smart. They the doctors. They the lawyers. You understand? Right. And the regular folks is regular. What's wrong with being average? Most people don't realize they average, man. Most people don't want to be average.
Yep. Don't call you.
But average. That's what most people are. So what you have is average people trying to be outliers. We're trying to make average the thing. I'm 5'1", 260. I'm thick.
Yeah.
You making that a thing. This guy over here, he ain't got nothing going for himself, you know, but he got the fancy, colorful shoes with the glitter on them and the skinny pants with the belt showing and the gold chain. Mm-hmm. He can be a thing now.
Yeah.
Anybody can be a thing, man, because social media, this camera phone has made it to where all of the weirdos can get in together in the same room. Let me give you a perfect example, real funny. You know how you ever like a fetish with porn and you look it up and you're ashamed to look it up, and then when you look it up, it's 500 billion motherfucking videos of that shit. You be like, oh shit, I ain't the only weird motherfucker out here. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So that's how it is now. Everybody that gets hit by the truth has a band. That's why we always say not all, not me. So say, for example, if you was to say something about black men, if it refers to me, I'm the hit dog, I'm going to holler.
Yes.
Hurt people, so I'm going to respond. But if it is me, I can't come in and say, hey, what you said stepped on my toes. That hurt me. So I said, what? Not all. So all can respond for me. Because if it want me, I said, not me. I told you I'm a linguistic specialist. Really listen at what we say. We type with emojis as men too. Think about where we at with communication. Think about how short the attention span is to sit down and have on a real communication when we'll text our fucking mama back.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Now, how we gonna communicate when we got all these feelings and all this trauma and all this stuff bagged up in us, and these kids can't write cursive? They don't even know how. They just what's going on in the relationship? Yeah. And the other person be like, yeah, and they get it. They understand it. Yeah, yeah. So that's how they communicate. How can we communicate, bro? People don't realize, man, I'm not being arrogant, man. The stuff that I'm saying needs to be heard, because when you really think about it, I'm not smart. I'm just honest.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just honest.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So you never gonna transcend your 7th grade self.
Yeah, we were just, before I called you up, man, we were just talking about, I was talking to her about about your concept about the 7th grade self. And I know what she was saying, and when she come back, you know, if she talks about it, she was saying, I can see that from a standpoint of the 7th grade self living in me, but not me being the 7th grade self. You know what I mean? But you're saying at the end of the day, this is who you are. This is who you'll be, regardless of how cool you get. How cool, if you wasn't shit in 7th grade, or if you wasn't like a cool kid, regardless of how popular you become, you get money, whatever, you still gonna be that same person.
I'm saying society don't change. People change. Russell Wilson is a Super Bowl world champion quarterback.
Right.
Quarterbacks get all the bad chicks. He's married to a R&B star. Mm-hmm. We call him lame. He was a lame boy in the 7th grade. Come on now. Money and fame don't change nothing.
I agree.
Correct?
I agree. Yeah.
Why is Russell Wilson lame? Can you explain that?
How is Russell Wilson lame?
Yeah, but you know he lame, right?
I think the appearance, and I think I heard you say this, if I'm not mistaken. You know, you're gonna be that 7th grade person, regardless of if you do in high school, you still a star quarterback, you still may be getting women. You know what I'm saying?
He's Russell Wilson, the lame guy. But I love him. I don't call him lame. I'm talking about our race.
Yeah,
I think the quarterback is the man.
Right. And
he's the black Tom Brady.
Yeah, and I would think you would want your daughter to be with somebody like that.
Of course.
Yeah.
Remember, I told you I'm an opposite. I live on the opposite side of black people. Not white. I just live opposite of black people.
Mm.
You do too, if you really think about it. You just went on a trek for your spiritual beliefs.
Right.
We don't do that. We don't even read our Bible that we grew up with.
Right, right.
We don't go see grandma down south. You just went halfway across the world to enlighten yourself and grow. Mm. You don't do like black folks.
Hey man, you know, like you said, we got outliers out here, man. We got anomalies, and I think you one of those anomalies, as I told you.
You are too, brother.
Man, so you know, but I don't want to take up too much of your time, brother. You know what I'm saying? I was like, I can't go on talking about this. I said, I gotta see if he can come on real quick. And,
I appreciate you having me, fam.
Real quick. Where can everybody find you at, bro?
You can find me on Facebook, Javon M. Clark. Mm-hmm. You can find me on YouTube, Javon M. Clark.
Okay.
You can find me on Instagram as Grubs Kitchen, GRUBBS Kitchen.
Okay.
And I dropped an album with all this real stuff I'm talking in the music. All this stuff is social commentary. It's called Crying and Cussing. The reason I called it Crying and Cussing is because Black people, we at a state where we are either sad or angry in this country. Crying and Cussing on all streaming platforms. Crying and Cussing. I got a couple of videos out. My wife is in the video. We about to drop one next week. Cussing, Cussing. If you want to look me up anywhere, search all streaming platforms, Crying and Cussing. I really believe all this stuff that I've been saying, everything that I've said tonight, is in a song on that album. I promise. It's the new Marvin Gaye What's Going On album, Crying and Cussing on all streaming platforms.
Yeah, I see somebody. If I can get somebody to plug that in the chat, if any of my moderators in here, I'm gonna put it in the description. Once I close this out, I'm gonna plug it in there. But if we got anybody in the chat that can Google it and pin it in there, then I'll pin it in the chat as well for you guys to pick
I appreciate you, fam.
Google it. I'll pin it in the chat. You know, but yeah, man, it was a pleasure having you on and you explaining all the stuff that I was talking about, man.
Nice meeting you, sister.
Nice meeting you.
Y'all be good.
Good night, bro.
Good night.
Shout out to Javon. I appreciate the master teacher. Y'all go follow him. Go pick up that album, Crying and Cussing. You know, that brother has been putting in work for some years. I know he also is big in. I've had him on the show a few times, which if you guys are watching the restream, you guys can check it out. I've had him on a couple times. He's big into the I don't want to mispronounce it. I always mess it up. The Bears and Bubbles, where he talks about the law of attraction, manifestation, and things like that. That he's got a podcast with him and his wife where they talk about those things, and you know, enlightenment. And he's definitely a strong advocate for the Black community and things like that, and just overall common sense. So y'all definitely check him out. Marvin Gaye, come on, bro. But yeah, I'm glad he could explain it. He articulated obviously a lot better than what I was able to do, what I was trying, you know, the conversation that we were having as far as that goes. So, you know, I don't think we got it. I mean, what else we got to talk about? It's time to get a sandwich or something. I gotta get something. What else can we address? You know what I'm saying? This has been a slow night, man, but I appreciate everybody. Hopefully you guys learned something. You know, somebody mentioned in the chat, it's not about solutions. People just want to see the fuckery. And I can understand that. That's I want to shout out Israel. Appreciate the $5 super chat, bro. I put it up there earlier, but I just wanted to formally acknowledge you. So I appreciate you. You know, so with that being said, you got anything else you wanted to add as far as these ladies that's trying to find some shit out about femininity?
No,
you know?
I mean, femininity is a you thing, and is just at the end of the day, it's not, you know, this is not the time to pick and choose or to try to figure out how or who needs to bring the feminine out of you. You should always exude femininity anywhere you go with whatever you do.
What do you think about what Javon said in terms of a woman can't be masculine and a man can't be feminine? It's just
so acting. And I didn't get a chance to hear the entire thing all the way through, but the way he broke it down actually makes a lot of sense. And he said that anything outside of those things is acting,
and it's just a woman being aggressive as opposed to being, you know, masculine, you know, because you're just being aggressive. You're just doing what everybody else is doing. You know, how can you will be agreeable for the right man. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? You'll be agreeable in the right situation. If the woman that you're with is masculine or doing these things, it's because he said, if anything, that makes her more feminine.
What?
If she's raising the kids by herself, basically, you know, putting them to bed, making sure the house is in order, paying the bills, all this stuff. He said, if anything, that makes her more feminine. A woman cannot be masculine. Right. She can be aggressive.
So I guess it makes her harder to the world because I mean, I do a lot of things on my own, and I mean, I like to think of myself as a very feminine person, especially when you're dealing with kids on a day-to-day basis. I mean, they're bringing that out of you anyway, because you have to. I think children break something within you, like a selfishness within you, that makes you just, some women, more motherly, more loving, more, compassionate, which brings out that femininity overall. I mean, I'm only saying that because of what he said, as far as like, if you're doing all these things, that makes you more feminine. But I mean, I think that some people will look at it and say it wouldn't make you more feminine, it would make you more masculine, because it makes you harder. It makes you like a harder person. Like, it's more, because you have to do so much, you become a little more resentful, and maybe not feeling like, not saying that you don't feel as ladylike. I mean, you're still a woman. You just can't tap into being that dainty, graceful. You're just like, oh, I got to be a hard ass because I got to make sure that I'm on my grind and I'm doing this and I'm doing that. I know one other thing that he had mentioned was something about not really wanting to work, so many hours in a day.
Right.
Yeah, because
I mean, we didn't talk about that exactly, but I asked you that. Do women really want to? Do women really want to work, regardless of them saying this independent dude? Nah, most women really don't want to work. They can say,
no.
I want to be able to relax. I want to be able to, especially if you got kids. You want to work and have kids? Like, I don't know. So.
Yeah. I mean, nobody wants to do. I mean, who wants to be away from the home that you're actually paying for?
Facts.
You know what I mean? Like, I have to work hard to pay these bills, but I don't get to enjoy it. Like, all I'm doing is I'm away from my house more. I'm at this job more than I am at home, and I'm only here so I can make enough money to pay for the home that I'm in less hours in a day than I am, at this job. So it's crazy.
That's exactly how I felt in Afghanistan. I was in Afghanistan for 2 years, and I would come back every 3-4 months for just a few days.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm paying for this fucking house,
but I can't even live here.
I don't get to enjoy it.
You know
what I'm saying? I'm just here temporarily, and I would enjoy the time. So yeah. So I just find that when a woman, and I'm not. I mean, it's modern day. Women are entitled to work and things like that, and I don't know.
It's not that I mean, I can say for myself and say that that's not what I want to do. Every single day, all day, forever and ever, amen. It's just, I mean, we're conditioned to do that. We're taught, we're raised like, when I hear young people or children, I mean, my daughter specifically said, oh, when I get older and I get a job. And I was like, you don't have to have a job. You can create something. You can create your path to where you are the person who's in charge of, how you make money, whether it be entrepreneurship or, whatever she decides to do. But I don't want, and schools are, that's just the way that we're taught, to go out and get a job and work for someone. Yeah. So it's time to like change that whole model, that change the mindset of the, the children that are coming up. Like, I mean, of course, this is being etched in their brains that, oh, I have to go out and I have to get a job and I have to work for someone, but that's not for everybody.
For sure. Well, this has been a long ass live stream,
Long ass.
I don't think, shout out to everybody who gave a super chat, who supported. We still haven't hit 100 likes. It's been very slow tonight for whatever reason, man. But anyway, hope you guys enjoyed it. The energy's low. I can feel it with myself.
It's got to bring some better energy next week.
With this shit set up. Better energy next week.
Yeah.
I'll talk about something more controversial than this shit right here, because obviously, he's talking about this. We need to watch something where he's destroying some hoes. You know what I'm saying? Just listen, guys. Hey, I appreciate you guys for tuning in. I'm actually. I just want to make an announcement. I'm thinking about doing a morning show. Let me know if you guys are interested. You can, put one in the chat if you're interested in seeing that. It's just me talking, just like any other morning show, covering, the latest and greatest, impart some wisdom and things to start the day off, the positivity. So let me know, E Mubarak for sure. Let me know what you guys think about that. If that's something you guys would be interested in, this morning show. I feel like it's maybe a good interactive thing. Hit that one. I see we got one person hitting the one. We got 33 people up in here. You know what I'm saying? I feel special now.
Oh.
Morning show coming. More episode. We got episode 4 coming next week. Inshallah, with the lovely Tina Summers here. We're gonna come with something a little more controversial, like child support, or you guys getting your ass run through the ringer in divorce, or just what was the thing we was talking about women, dudes in relationships, their mama running the shit, or they letting their woman punk them, and things like that. Yeah. Mahalia Cheetah. I haven't seen that name in a while. Interesting. Yeah, keep hitting those one. I guess only 3 people want to see it. You know what I'm saying? So I guess I'll put it on a morning show, but for just y'all 3, man. Fuck everybody else. You guys are all the hard work that I put in. This is the thanks I get.
Can you imagine what people feel like when they have a job, like a real job?
I know, right?
That they have to go to every single day. Imagine feeling like that every day.
This ain't a real job.
I mean, it is, but I'm just speaking in terms of, this is something you enjoy. Imagine going somewhere you don't really want to be every day.
You say this is something let me stop.
You're here for the morning show? Yeah,
I mean, she's already hit 1 though. She's just reiterating that. The rest of these fucks in here are just like, JR, we don't care what you do.
We don't care about it. We'll see how it goes.
We're just here to see Tina Summers. That's all.
No.
We don't care about this shit.
That's not true.
Hey, listen, you guys have been great. I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Anything else you want to add?
Thank you so much for tuning in, guys. We'll be back next week with something a little more controversial to discuss, so this guy can stop crying about how many people are in the live. Have a good night, everybody.
Yeah, you guys have
something good happens to all of you.
Yeah, peace and blessings, man. I just threw up a few middle fingers, but peace and blessings. Hopefully you guys have a nice name. Oh man, Tina Summers, nice name. Anyway.
What? It's a nice name.
Tonight's a good night, man. Anyway, you guys. What I was thinking. Good night. How's the song?
What is it?
Tonight's gonna be a good night.
Yeah.
Good night. No, that's Lil Wayne. I got a feeling. Instead of no ceilings. Yeah, Lil Wayne is no ceilings. Yeah, I got a feeling. Tonight's gonna be a good night. Yeah. Anyway, you guys go get some food, go relax, get a foot massage, go sit in some hot water with Epsom salt, and take a load off, detox, drop a deuce, whatever it is going to make you good before the end of the night. But if you do, just make sure you're clean, whatever you do at the end of the day, So you guys have a good night, man.
Good night.
I'm out of here.